Wildcard Orioles are moving in the wrong direction in those wildcard standings. They fell again at home yesterday to the Red Sox, but the O's were classy in defeat. They chose to honor David Ortiz with a tongue-in-cheek gift, we'll call it, before Big Papi's final regular season game at Camden Yards. Having a little fun in the process. I'll show you what.
Why wouldn't he want it?
Yeah, maybe put it in eventually the Big Papi Museum, have its own little corner, right? No, to me, like when you see these farewell tours, sometimes it's gifts. You're like, well, what are you going to do with this?
Like a surfboard.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to put it in storage?
Right.
Like that to me is pretty cool.
Yeah, but if you have to put it on the wall, then you got to explain to anybody who doesn't know the story. It's like, well, one time I lost my mind.
Well, if they don't know the story, they don't deserve to be in the office to look at it.
That's
right?
a fair point.
Or the entire museum.
Museum draws a hard line.
Yeah, 7:45. Michael Jr. going to be back in a little bit. He's going to have his game day sign. I'm excited for that. Yes. Be now a Titans fan?
Could you blame him? Really? The colors are the same.
Hey, good karma right there. You can always use that.
That's pretty cool, man.
But
you ever have a moment like that with anybody at Notre Dame?
With young fans, that means a lot to a lot of people.
That's really, really cool. All right, we're going to stay in the NFL, and you were pretty hot on this subject this morning on your show with Robin Lundberg. The Patriots dismantle the Texans, and they dominate. They go with a third-string quarterback making his debut
for us this week.
Yeah, listen, guys, I think you'll be proud. I got it on the first time this try, and I used a glue stick.
What?
Yes.
So this week, we've got the sign.
That.
I don't. Negative 200 degrees. Did you see that?
It's supposed to really help, you know, I don't know.
Frostbite? Is that what it was? For more on McCoy's preparation for Sunday's matchup with the Rams, you tune in this Sunday morning on SportsCenter. We're going to have a complete look at the week in the life of Gerald McCoy. There was another tub that was 41 degrees. I'll take that one.
Okay, well, it's pretty much that in the studio at all times. So, anyways, I've got a pop quiz for you.
Okay.
All right, how many people does it take to cheer on a last-place team?
Oh, dozens.
Dozens.
Literally tens of fans. I'll guess you're talking about a specific game. Yeah. Who sits on a throne of lies now?
I do, apparently.
All right, this was originally supposed to be the end of the segment, and Jamie thought we were going to go to commercial, but we're not, because I was handed this urgent bulletin. We've extended the segment. Yeah, where's the old school, like a Marconi or whatever that was, teletype. Very important piece of video, our top dance-off.
Oh, boy. Well, it wasn't like an official Twitter vote. It was just kind of, you know, I just saw all the reactions.
Yeah.
There was also, a similar one with me and Rosillo drinking iced coffee.
Right. Oh, yeah, the split screen.
He looked super creepy, so you can check that out on Twitter as well.
Every day they got to eventually get better, but this team is going to go as their offensive line goes. If it gets on track, well, they got all the other parts.
Josh McCown, who looked fantastic in the first quarter last season. He eventually couldn't finish the season after suffering a broken collarbone.
Yeah, McCown injuring his shoulder after taking multiple big hits during the game Sunday, but he did tough it out. Yeah,
following the game, though, McCown could not even lift his left arm, and he got emotional when talking about why he chose to play through the pain.
Understands his opportunity here. The 37-year-old has played with 7 teams in his career, also in the UFL here in Hartford, so he understands being a journeyman.
And if he can't play next week, the Browns would be the first team to start 3 different quarterbacks in the first 3 games since the 2008 Chiefs.
After that breakout year with the Bears, he came through SportsCenter. He kind of went through the car wash and was on all these different shows. And you...
Well, we bring in our top fantasy fields with Field Yates, of course, our NFL insider, and some underwhelming performances yesterday from some very key players, including Jeremy Hill and Todd Gurley, and then there was the injury to Thomas Rawls. What are your feels about these guys?
Yeah, let's start with Thomas Rawls, Jamie.
What about people looking to make some changes to their roster? Who are your top fantasy pickups this week?
Are you suggesting you need to make some changes to your roster, Jamie?
I could be needing that.
Okay.
But just, you know, hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically speaking, a couple of players to keep an eye on. How about Quincy? Jacoby Brissett, the rookie, get hurt. They may have to roll the dice here this week. Again, we'll see if their plans change throughout the course of today. But as of early this morning, at that time, there were no plans to bring in a quarterback subject to change.
Got to tread water until they get Tom Brady back. Yeah, hang tight. Actually, true.
Yeah,
sometimes you don't have their number. It's a new phone.
That's a good point.
Tim Hasselbeck back with us this morning. The Vikings defense is solid, but it's kind of surprising to see what's going on with Aaron Rodgers and their offense. Could only muster 14 points last night. What's going wrong with that unit in Green Bay?
Well, I think there's blame to go around. If you remember last week, we talked about these receivers and their inability to get open and create separation. We saw it last week. Then they got away from it this week and didn't even test the matchups. to then end up like that. I mean, this doesn't look like the offense that we're expecting to see.
No, not what we are used to seeing from Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay. The Packers will host the Lions in Week 3. Hang tight. We'll be back with you shortly to talk Carson Wentz.